Hi guys, in this example we have a formula question. So we have the perimeter of the circle, circumference of the circle is double that of the perimeter of the square. Okay. Give an expression for the area of the circle in terms of the length x of the square. Okay. So that means we're not allowed to use an r here, okay? When we give it in terms of x, it should look like something like a equals pi and x and any other numbers or operations, but we're not allowed to use an r. Okay, so that means we're going to have to manipulate this equation first to find out what r is. So let's go through what we know. We know that the circumference of the circle is equal to 2 pi r. And we also know that the circumference of that circle is equal to double the perimeter of the square. So that's 4x, so 8x. So then that means I could rewrite this equation here, if we know that c is both of these, as 2 pi r is equal to 8x. And what we want to do is find out what r is equal to, get r on its own. So we can simply divide that 2 pi here and divide by 2 pi here, and we end up with r equals 4x over pi. All right, so now that we know what r is, we can substitute for r in this formula here. So we have the area is equal to pi, and that is times this fraction here, 4x over pi, and it's r squared, so that is all squared. So let's deal with the squared first. So we know that we have pi times, and 4 squared is 16x squared over a pi squared. Okay, now this looks a bit messy. We can get rid of one of these pi's because remember we're multiplying this fraction here by that fraction there. So that is actually like a pi over a 1 times everything. So that means we end up with 16x squared pi at the top over a pi squared at the bottom. And with the same factor top and bottom here, that means we can cancel that and cancel that. And so our final answer is going to be 16x squared over pi. Okay, so there's no r there. It is simply expression for the area in terms of x. So all we have is an x, some numbers, some operations, and that pi there. Okay, because pi represents a number, we're allowed to leave it there. So that is our final answer.